The Lead Live is brought to you by Peterson Health. We are live from the Peterson Health Digital Studio at Pine and Plow Brewing Company this morning on Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. K-Pub, safe, reliable, and yours. They'll be put to the test today with some temperatures topping 104 degrees maybe. Gibson Discount Center, Ken Stupple Ford, and our good friends at JP Properties and their real estate reporters every Tuesday here on The Lead. Also, SLS Partnership and the Printing Company, serving Texas since 1964. And Jody Tillman, New Fed Mortgage. Thanks to all of them as well. Don't forget to get your vehicle serviced, not at the Herring Printing Company. They may be able to do that for you, and maybe not in a timely fashion, but they can get it done maybe. But go to Quick Lane over at Ken Stupple Ford. Give them a call today at 830-257-5557. The great and powerful Libby Horton is here this morning. Libby, how are you?
I'm back.
You're back.
I'm good. Yeah, I was gone. Well, no, I was here last week.
You were here last week.
Yeah.
But you went to graduation for your boyfriend, right? How was that?
Awesome. He was in the business school, so there was a lot of students they had to read off.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did it a lot different than whenever I graduated.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually they line you up like alphabetically, and then they have like the whole in the beginning. They didn't do that. They just had people like go in there and sit, and then they had a couple of words, and then they got to it, which was nice.
Which is nice. That is nice. That is a nice thing. I started a little riot last week, by the way.
A riot?
Because of the Texas A&M people were nonstop with their whoop whoop stuff at the Ingram honor graduates ceremony. We struck back with the Baylor Sikkim, and then that led to a whole landslide of other things, including the Texas Tech kids. And there's a lot of Texas Tech kids going from Ingram. They're going from Ingram to Texas Tech, and they did their guns up thing. That's a Chief McCall deal. He's a guns up guy, right? Yeah, there you go. What happens when you play Oklahoma State though? Theirs is two fingers, right? And I think that's how that works exactly. So we got a great
some kind of spin-off.
They're not a real player. We got a great show for you. You got Seth Vandable here today. He is the older brother apparently of Aubrey, our barista this morning. Aubrey is probably one of the most unique people in town. She can fight gators, mountain lions. She could get bit. Like, if you're going to survive the apocalypse, Seth, your sister is the person who you're going to have on your side.
I believe that. Because
she can treat you. You know, like if you get bit by a dog or a cat or a chicken, she knows how to take care of it. Or a duck. And apparently she's fought some. Oh, yeah. She had some ducks she had to fight. This is a true story. You can come here and ask her that stuff. Seth Vandable's here, as is Len Guerrero. Len, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great.
You're just off camera here. I do want to start the morning off, and I don't have everyone's cameras or videos turned on, but just trust me this morning that we had the solemn ceremony of the motorcycle procession for the Cortez family who are being buried today. Chief, you're going to that funeral, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you know members of the family or?
Danny Cortez, the father, was a lieutenant for our department, retired from Kerrville.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. No,
yes,
did not realize that. He wore a lot of hats too. He had a lot of different hats. So, the horrible thing about this story is that it was Danny Cortez, his son Cody, and then his niece Courtney, right? Yeah, and. They were all killed Saturday night down in Center Point, and it was just a terrible story. It was actually May 3rd they were killed, and in a terrible accident or crash. It was basically a drunk driver has been accused of this, and they were all having a great day. They were at Topgolf beforehand. They shared photos of this. And then later that day, and here's the procession of motorcycles going out this morning to a Calvary Temple Church, where the Pastor Del Rey will do the ceremony or the funeral this morning. So a very somber moment today as well. That funeral starts at I think 10 this morning. So you're heading over there for that too. We'll have more on that here later in the lead. All right. Because I was on a time crunch here. Seth's here. Where are you? Where do you live, Seth?
I'm in just outside of Dallas.
Just outside of Dallas. And how long have you been in the sculpture business, the sculpture game?
So yeah, like forever. I grew up in Kerrville, and I cast my first piece at 14 in a little foundry in Center Point. And so, yeah, I've been sculpting now cast my first piece 40 years ago. So
what was your inspiration at 14 to cast those pieces? What were you trying to accomplish there? Learning this.
Yes, I was just that little kid that just drew like crazy. That's all I did was draw.
Yeah.
24/7.
What would you draw? Like what was your figures?
Yeah, I was obsessed with Da Vinci and Michelangelo.
Yeah.
The Renaissance masters. I always just loved figures.
Now let me ask you this question. This is important because I know you're a little bit younger than me. But did you ever have the Stan Lee book on drawing comics?
So funny you should say that. I ended up doing Marvel Comics statues for like 15 years as well.
Is that right? Because that was like that book was like between myself. I wasn't the best person to draw, but my dad had art books all over the house. My brothers, man, that book was so well worn. Like I think the cover came off, the binding came off because my brothers would go through it and they would draw because it teaches you how to to draw correctly. So what kind of things did you do for Marvel then?
Yeah. So I did licensed statues.
Yeah.
The kind nerds collect.
Yeah, right.
They're very detailed superheroes. I did them for like 15 years. It was a company that had the licensing.
Yeah.
It was before all the Avengers and things took off.
So the really collected items now, then I would imagine.
Yeah, very much so.
Right.
But your question is interesting. Actually, the kind of studying I do is more anatomy thing.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in how the figure is put together.
Right.
And using that as a design element. So yeah, I'm obsessed with the figure.
Yeah. So your work has ranged from, so you went from 14, you're down, you cast your first thing, and then what happens? Then what happens next for you?
Yeah, I ended up painting murals and doing little menu covers for restaurants in Kerrville and things like that. I ended up moving to Austin, and I got married to a lady with a design degree that said, you're going to be a sculptor, and we moved to Colorado, and I've been full time since I was 21.
Wow. So this was so then you just decided, and you made a living at this.
Mm-hmm.
And is that an easy living, or do you?
No, you got to starve.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, right.
You got to spend 10 years just doing it because you love it.
Yeah.
And I still do it because I love it, but it's a commitment and a fire in the belly,
right,
and a refusal to quit. It's a bunch of rejection. It's a bunch of thinking you're going to make sales and you're not, and galleries telling you no, and shows telling you no.
Right.
And you got to love it enough to just grind through it.
Some of your work it's all figures basically for the most part. The one that caught my eye, because we were talking baseball beforehand though, and I love this guy too. I'm sorry, it's just a SoCal homer thing. I apologize, Chief. But Tony Gwynn.
Yeah.
I
did a big, almost twice life-size Tony Gwynn.
He's holding a kid. An absolutely legendary and beloved figure in San Diego. And the picture we have up shows just a significant crowd. What was the reaction to that when that finally got up and running?
Oh, it was incredible. They had a statue of him swinging the bat at the stadium there, but the town of Poway, just outside of San Diego, is his hometown.
Yeah.
And that's where his family lived. And so that piece is a tribute to the people that actually knew him.
Right.
Community members, family. That's him holding
his daughter, Anisha.
And so the Gwynn family was just incredible through that. It was an incredible dedication.
All right. So this was, so you're from Kerrville, and tell us about the process of getting this commission. How did this work out?
Lang could probably say more about that than I can. I know this has been a long time coming, and fundraising and planning for this. As I understand it, there was a request for proposals for artists.
Mm-hmm.
There were 55 applicants. First of all, Catherine Boyette at CAP.
Yeah,
she's
community
amazing.
art project, right?
Amazing. They sent out a request for proposal through the channels of the art world, and then we had 55 applicants apply.
Wow.
And then there were two 2 boards that sort of whittled it down. The first board got it down from 55 to 3, and then the second board, which the Chiefs were on, got direct presentations and then got it down from the 3 to the 1. And that whole process was just unbelievably professionally done. Seth was the final 3, and then we found out he's from Kerrville.
Yeah, right. So it should have been a no-brainer, right?
But no, it was really, I mean, he's just really a great sculptor, and the fact that he's a Kerrville is just extra. And so that's how it all happened.
Did you? What made you apply for that? The Kerrville connection, or just was like a cool project for you?
So my wife is one who usually finds these things online, these requests. But yeah, once I found out about it, it's like, oh, we've got to do this.
Right.
So yeah, I wouldn't, if it wasn't for Kerrville, it was, when I lived here, it was in the 80s in the Cowboy Artist Museum, now the Museum of Western Art. I lived there. And local artists that were super encouraging. I wouldn't be in the arts without Kerrville, and so this was just an amazing. Now
listen, here's the deal. Like I'm ready to take a sculpture class from Jason Skull, who's the resident there, and I want to do a earmuffs for you. I want you to hear this, but I have an idea for one. It's called Butts and Balls. And here it is. It's just the backsides of cows that are getting ready to buck a guy off of the horse, or that'd be
a bull.
The bull. I'm sorry, you got that right. Yeah, I'm having some trouble with anatomy this morning, but that's what I want. I want a whole wall of them, just different things. Okay, can we get that done?
You might be onto something.
I think so. I think that'd be great. But you applied for this thing. Museum of Western Art, though, is remarkable here in town. So you applied for this, and did you feel pretty good about your chances then, or?
You never know. There's a lot of great artists out there. Usually, if and this is typical for the process, you get whittled down to 3 to 5 finalists, and usually you make a presentation. If I can get to that stage. I usually feel pretty good about it because however I'm submitting an application or a presentation, we really work hard at it and try to present a nice design.
And you've done work all over. I mean, I have here's a sample of it. I don't know if you can see it on that monitor, but this is from Casper, Wyoming. I think I've actually seen this one, to tell you the truth. This is oil workers monument, looks like. And you've got also this Whataburger Stadium. Is this Casey at bat?
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
There's actually, when he did the presentation, he told us about the symbolism in that. That's down in Corpus, and it was paid for by the Whataburger.
Right. It's Whataburger Field, the Corpus Christi Hooks.
But tell us what you told us.
Yeah, and so I hide little things in there, but Whataburger, the famous logo is the big orange W. I designed it. If you don't know if you see like his arms and elbows, the way it's basically in a big W.
It is in a big W, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful piece. And then this one, a little bit of a Texas history: Prairie Winds in South Lake, Texas. Right. Carol Shelby in Boulder, Colorado. That's legendary. So you just do legendary stuff, right? That's all it is. Here's a Tony Gwynn piece. And then for Kerrville, this is what we came up with, right? But we're changing this up a little bit. Is that right, Chief? Is that what we're looking at here?
I think this is an example of kind of some of the things that we're looking at.
Yeah.
I think Seth's still kind of working through the process of what we're going to end up with. But we're very excited.
Now, wait a minute. I thought Brenda Hughes wanted a dog in this. What happened to the dog?
Well, that was a discussion that we have quite a bit at home with Karen.
Yeah.
And there's no dog, but Officer Darby we commemorated somehow, some way eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get Darby into this somehow. This is just, I saw a little bit of this too, so there'll be one for the fire department. Of course, we're not talking about the fire department. That's another chief that has to come in and talk about this. But you get, Lang, tell me, the selection though was, what did that look like as far as the selection process? How did that come down?
Really looking for the style, the look and feel of the art that they had produced, and then of course just the artists themselves, and that was sort of the deal.
Yeah,
just wanted to find the right sculptor and then take it from there.
All right. And did you have a voice in this, Chief?
We did. Catherine Boyette and her crew did all the heavy lifting on the front end and really presented us with 3 of the top sculptors in the nation, basically.
Yeah.
And Seth was one of those. They presented all of them And then at the very last minute, kind of dropped. Oh, by the way, Seth's from Kerrville, and everybody in the room kind of went.
It's amazing how that works out, isn't it?
Yeah, this feels like it was meant to be.
Yeah, that is meant to be.
Yeah.
We have some of the interesting artists here as well. Did you feel like you were nurtured here as a kid, art wise, or what was your kind of your sense of things growing up here?
It's like anything in the arts. You feel like it's this impossible dream.
Yeah.
So I'd walk through the museum just in awe of Howard Turpning and Fritz White and all these guys, and you just think, well, it's just impossible. But I just never stopped drawing and believing that somehow, if I just kept drawing. I mean, that's what I tell any young artist. Mm-hmm. Most young artists quit too soon. Yeah. And I would just say, just draw, just keep doing it and don't stop.
Well,
yeah.
Let me ask you this. I'm always curious about this too, because we're all different stations in life. Like, where are you at now artistically to when you were 21? How different is the world for you artistically now than when you were younger?
Well, it's very different. And when you create the figure as your subject matter, you're really, it's about humanity. Mm-hmm. And as things change, as people you love go through things, it changes your worldview. It changes what you're trying to say with your art, how you're trying to inspire hope or courage or comfort through grief. All these things affect your work,
right? If
you let all those things in, so,
right?
Yeah, yeah, and plus your worldview is different when you're 21 than when you're in your 50s.
Yeah, the chief and I are just having that conversation too about how you different things happen and it kind of changes your perspective on the world and you kind of grow with that as well. This Guardian Plaza, which Len Guerrero has helped lead, what is this going to mean for the departments, both fire department and the police department to have this? And a knock on wood here, my understanding, there's never been a loss of life in the line of duty for KPD, right? KFD had one, I guess, at some point. Two. They've had two, right?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. So for us, this week is Police Officer Memorial Week. On Thursday, we'll be doing hopefully our final memorial out in Peterson Plaza.
Yeah.
Next year, we're hoping that ceremony takes place out in Guardian Plaza.
Right.
And it really to give us a home and a place that we can do those type of gatherings is very important to us. We're in a place. Lang says it best. When we try to stand out in front of the police department and do something, it's
you're standing in the street.
Standing in the street.
Yeah, and then you're stopping traffic too. Because people are like, what are they doing over there? What is going on?
Exactly. Yeah.
Or if you get too many people, the building might fall down too. So that's the other issue.
There is that.
Yeah. The fire department's had two lost in line of duty. Is that right, Ling?
That's right. And then also this year, unfortunately, Texas leads the nation in so many ways. But this year, Texas led the nation again, 2024, with the total line of duty deaths at 18, and that was actually one more than New York. So we were top of the nation again.
But let me tell you, I never want to have to cover another police officer or firefighter death. I've done it several times in my career, and not a good thing. Not a good thing.
It's emotionally taxing.
No, it is totally. Yeah, I mean they're massive events, and the grief, and it's one of those things where you're asking yourself, like, why did this have to happen this way? Why did this have to?
The space it's a dedicated, purpose-built space
Mm-hmm.
for these types of events. Like, unfortunately, like the one we're talking about today with the motorcycle riders. But if the community has an issue or some kind of event that happens, we hope that this will be the space that people go to.
Yeah. What do you want to try to convey in these pieces? They're bronzes, right? Or what are they? Tell me about the process of making these two.
It's complicated, but the originals will be sculpted, larger than life. I think we're going to 1.25 life, so each figure will be about 7.5 feet tall.
Right. I think I have that photo here. Let me get that up for you guys so we can see that. But so 7.5 feet tall. Yeah. So a little bit taller than the Johnny Manziel statue, but sorry, I didn't say that, did I? Did I say that? I didn't say that, did I? Here it is. Here's the scale of this. So taller than Lang, but not quite as tall as Chief McCall, right? Yeah.
The originals will be sculpted in clay, and it's a lost wax casting. It's very complex process that takes place at a foundry where there's a wax stage, a ceramic stage, and then finally a bronze stage.
Right.
I do all the metal finishing and patinas.
How do you color the badge too? Is that just painted on, or is that
So patinas? It's an art in itself.
Yeah.
It's a chemical process. Different chemicals applied in different concentrations with heat and torches and brushes, and that's a big part of the art. But when you see a Western-looking bronze, just a brown bronze, that's a chemical treatment. That's
right?
That's a iron oxide applied with heat as well. So it's just different chemicals and different concentrations.
Yeah. Now, any truth to this is you're gonna model after the assistant chief, right? Is he the model for this? I mean, he's ripped like this guy.
I think he's selling that.
I'm sure that he is.
He's got a campaign going.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this guy's robust. So, yeah. I mean, Chief, what's your input on this process for you?
You know, I think for us, we just want to support Seth with any information that we can provide him as far as kind of what is the norm for the Kerrville Police Department.
Yeah.
And just try to support him with that type of information so that he can creatively create what's going to hopefully stand out in that building for a couple lifetimes.
Right. Have you ever done a dog statue?
I've done a number of dog statues for police departments.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
One is a memorial for a fallen officer
Okay.
up Little Elm, up north side of the DFW Metroplex.
Yeah.
And I've got a police and fire dog out in front of the Arlington police and fire headquarters.
Nice.
As well.
So I mean, go back to this again. So you get picked. What is your reaction to getting the call, and that? What was that like?
I mean, delighted, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's kind of a two-part thing. At first, you're, elated because it's exciting to be a part of a project like this. Mm-hmm. And then then it sets in, hey, I got some work to do. And you start thinking about the hard work that's gone into this, the heart that's gone into this, how many people care about a project like this.
Yeah.
And then you think, wow, I've been entrusted to bring their vision to life.
Right.
And so you get ready to roll up your sleeves and make it happen.
How often do you get down to Kerrville in this area? You still have family down. Obviously, Aubrey's here.
Yeah.
So how much family you still have down here?
Aubrey's the only one that's left here.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as often as I'd like to.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will,
Does that mean you have to put up with Maya too, Aubrey's buddy?
I get to see Maya every once in a while, not as often.
Yeah.
But
Maya's Jeremy's the wife, the proprietors here at Pint and Plow. What about an Aubrey statue? Can we get one made of her?
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be? Yeah. Well, how would you do that exactly?
I'd have to figure something out.
I mean,
there have to be dogs everywhere.
Dogs,
yeah,
cats, chickens.
You bet. You bet.
How about a magic wand too, and a gong? A gong. She had to have a gong as well. She could. Yes, that'd be great.
Sure.
All right, Chief. I know you got to get going to the funeral here again, but tell me again one more time. What is this going to mean when you see this finally put together? I mean, it's hard to imagine it getting here, but it's everything is like when we took the picture of you guys last week. And with Jeff Wendling, it was incredible to see the progress on the public safety building. And how do you feel about things right now?
Yeah, Lang mentioned last night. It's been 3 years since the bond.
I know that was a great point, Lang.
Yeah, and a year prior to that,
basically, it means it's 4 years since the animal shelter was approved. So sorry,
a year beyond that, getting the process going, and up to that point. We're working through the construction of the building right now, and really it will feel like this piece, when it's placed, will kind of be the completion of the whole project.
Right.
Lang and company have done a tremendous amount of work supporting both the building and this project for the Guardian Plaza.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to hopefully next April-ish or so putting a couple statues out there and really kind of being the cherry on the cake.
That's amazing. How long does it take you to make these things, to build these, to create these things, I guess?
So there's two sides of it. There's the sculpting side, and then there's the foundry producing side, the casting side. Typically 3 to 4 months per figure to sculpt it, and hopefully 3 to 4 months each to cast it. So we're looking at pedal to the metal, getting it all done within a year.
What's the most unusual statue you've created?
Oh, I've created so many.
Yeah.
It'd have to be something for. I actually did 10th anniversary Pokemon
Oh yeah.
Ash.
Yeah.
That'd have to be it. And yeah, that was a crazy one. Now it's just a little collectible statue. Now it goes for thousands on eBay.
Right.
Start off as a $200 statue.
Yeah. What can we do to get you to relocate here? This is really more important. This is the more important
Wouldn't
question.
that be nice. Yeah. Hey, you wouldn't have to twist my arm. I'd love to end up back.
Yeah, we gotta get you back here. Well,
awesome.
you know, the mayor was here somewhere. We can get him back over here and get him
He
some money.
left.
Did he leave already? Dang it. All right, we'll figure it out. We'll get Jeremy on it.
Maybe Aubrey will let me pitch a tent.
Aubrey? Yeah. Well, he had to pitch up with all the dogs.
That'd be all right.
Right. All right. Good job, you guys. Thanks for
One
bringing
more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to tell people.
Yeah. If you want to donate to this deal, right?
I don't know if
There you go.
that's right.
Yeah. Here, give it to me.
Where's the Guardian Plaza located?
So that's
Front of the
a
public
great
safety
point.
building. Yeah.
So the public safety facility is nearly
you know what? I'm
complete, and
sorry.
nobody even knows where it is.
Wait, I apologize.
yeah, that's why
It's like
people who
over
don't
there
know
past, it's
where
across
this is
from
being built.
K-Pub and the sheriff's office.
Here's a
beside that
picture of
Whataburger.
the. Here's a picture
But
of
it's
the
in
building.
the back, and it's a monstrous facility. It's probably like a size of a Home Depot, and it's nearly complete.
It's amazing looking.
And anyway, if you'd like to donate, we've gotten some primary donors out of the way for the large amounts. But right now, what we really want to see Kerrville do is small amounts: $5, $10, doesn't matter, $20. We want the whole community to participate in this, and you can do that by going to guardianplaza.org, and you can see the different options there for the different donation amounts. But really, any amount, it doesn't matter how much. We just want to show our support for the public police, fire, and EMS here in Kerrville, and it's really just an amazing project, and we're looking forward to April, right? April.
Yeah.
All right, we're
I
gonna
feel like we're putting pressure on you here with the.
Yeah.
I can see it in his face.
But no, we're excited about it, and thank you for having us on.
You're welcome, very much so. Looking forward to it, Seth. Good work, congratulations. We appreciate it very much, and good luck on the project. We look forward to when that thing becomes real. So, all right, appreciate it very much. All right, we're throwing these guys out. Amy Goodyear's coming on next. The great and powerful Libby Horton's here.
Yeah.
Libby, Seven Bridges was outstanding.
Oh, was it?
Did you not go?
No, I was somewhere else.
Oh, sorry, you were at graduation.
I was in Austin.
It was terrific. Those guys were really good.
Yeah, I knew they were.
Yeah.
They would be. They don't.
Well, you want
They did their own stuff.
You
They
got something to
sang their
say?
own things. But this week we have trivia, so if you haven't reserved your table, go ahead and do that
Get it done.
now.
Get it
yes,
done.
Phoebe at the box office can help you out. We usually do have a couple of tables for walk-ups, but not all the time. I wouldn't count on it, but usually we have some room in the balcony.
Yeah.
Yes, Meredith and I are going to be the host this week.
Are you? Mm-hmm. Am I still banned? Is that the deal? We're
Yes.
still banned.
Yes, you're still banned.
Who banned me exactly? Was it Stacy? It was you. No. I was talking to Larry Howard
It
last.
wasn't me.
I was talking to Larry Howard last night. He's going to Argentina.
I know. He's leaving
That sounds
again.
really delightful.
Yeah, he just came back from France and Spain and all those other places too.
You're
So
tired
jealous.
today, aren't you?
I am. I've been tired for several days.
What's wrong?
I don't know. I think I'm burnt out.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be. I really am. Like, I had the Leadership Kerr County thing yesterday. Everyone's like, "You're tired. You're tired." And I'm like, "I'm sorry. I'm really not trying to look."
You're
tired.
trying to catch up from the months that
I am.
that Stacy abandoned you to have the baby.
Yes, where I was abandoned and I
know.
put the team on my back.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
No, I still feel like I'm recovering. No.
We got news and notes before we get to Amy Goodyear. I just want to hit on a couple of things. I had a story that I did not get in the newsletter. I did it this morning that was really interesting. You know how Trump made this presentation, or he said, no taxes
Yes.
on your tips? Not exactly true.
So what's happening?
Well, here's the deal. If you get cash tips, right? No taxes on those, right?
Okay.
Although you still are supposed to report them, right?
Yeah,
Here's the deal.
I don't know anybody who does.
Do people report cash tips?
Yeah, do people report their cash tips? So here's the deal, right? But how many of us actually give cash tips anymore?
I would say maybe 30%.
Right. The Pew Research Center said that less than half of all people now have cash on them at all times. And that these folks, increasingly are using digital currency or digital money or their digital payment forms to put that out there. So the big, beautiful bill that the House Republicans have put forward has the no tips, no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, no taxes on Social Security, no taxes on interest rates for car loans, things like that. But here's the but on this deal. This is why you got to read the fine print on this. It doesn't mean, so you think, oh, well, I'm not going to have to pay taxes on these anymore if I get tips in my paycheck, which is how most people do it. So I think here at Pine Plow, for instance, like if you get, like if people tip digitally, right? You know, like you have the 20% thing, you know, we're all kind of accustomed to it now. And the reality of that is that money goes into your paycheck, which means it's not exempt from payroll taxes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So you're still paying taxes on those tips. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the year, when you do your taxes, you then can deduct that money out of your tips. So you got to remember how to deduct it.
So you have to keep track of it.
Yeah, I mean,
well, but if it's on your pay stub,
it should be on your pay stub. You should be able to deduct it, right?
Yeah.
But it does not mean your paychecks will be fatter.
Right. They're not going to change. You can just deduct it at the end of the year.
You can deduct it at the end of the year, right? So you're not
honestly, they'll probably just make the standard deduction higher. It
right.
won't make any difference.
Right. And so there's some limits on it. There's a lot of still unknowns, a lot of ifs, ands, or buts about this. But this got addressed yesterday in Congress, where people were like, whoa, wait a minute here. You said no taxes on tips. And then the reality is that, yes, you're still going to pay tax on those tips. Mm-hmm. You may get a deduction later in the year, but depending on how much money you make,
right.
you might not get a bit, might not help. So,
and they'll change the standard deduction so that it just is zeros out.
You're right. So there was that.
Been there, done that.
I posted a story also about Trump's plane, the plane that's down in San Antonio from Qatar. Interestingly enough, San Antonio has a story in this. It turns out the plane is in San Antonio, right? And San Antonio is like a hub for these these luxury planes. And apparently the U.S. sold a Boeing jumbo jet to China many years ago under the Bush administration. And they took it to San Antonio and they outfitted it, and then they loaded it with a bunch of like really sophisticated electronic surveillance. And the Chinese weren't very happy about this when the Americans gave it. Oh, here's a jet for you to go. Have this jet, and it was loaded with like counterintelligence. And the Chinese found out about it and were very happy about it. There's a lot of concerns in this national security. It's like, you're going to get a jet, and we're going to have to sweep it for stuff. We're going to have to do all this stuff to get it ready to go. And the price tag on this. Now, remember that the new jets that Trump ordered when he was president, that have taken years for Boeing to do because they're so sophisticated, are like $2 billion each, right? So these planes are like, they're not commercial planes. They're flying fortresses, essentially, command and control centers. The government can run from those. We've all seen the movies. And they're saying now it could cost $500 to $600 million or more to outfit this thing so that it would be appropriate for it to be Air Force One. And then here's the other part of this too. It might take a year or two or longer to actually retrofit it so that it's ready to go to meet all of the demands that the Air Force would have for it. And it would not be available for use at the end of his term. So the plan is that his foundation gets it after 4 years. Now everyone's like, well, he's not going to keep it. Well, we don't know that. His foundation's going to get it. That doesn't mean that he's going to not be able to fly that plane. They didn't say it's going to be like a parked like so Air Force One, there's Air Force One that's like encased inside of the Reagan Museum. There's a small one out at the LBJ Ranch that they use to fly into LBJ's facility. They didn't say that. they're saying it's going to be owned by the foundation, so it may still be flying. And apparently this jet is beyond luxurious. Like, it is a Taj Mahal type facility. And, it's like, I'm all for the Air Force One retrofit, but do it right. Why do we have to take this jet? I don't know. It just seems really squirrely to me.
That's such a weird thing.
Yeah. Lang would take it, right? Lang, you'd take the jet, right? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Lang's, yeah. You'd take a wooden boat, though, too. You prefer the boat, yeah. Would you take the president? You would take the Sequoia, the old presidential yacht, probably.
The Sequoia?
Yes.
I don't think they use that.
No, they don't use that anymore. Jimmy Carter sold it off, so that was a waste. Anyway, all right. So there was that, and then let's have a city council meeting. The city council made it was a significant meeting. They approved the public improvement district for the Whiskey Springs project, which is going to go in north of Interstate 10, east of Texas 16, up there in that corner where that old, I guess it was a photo safari place used to be. Now, here's the thing, folks. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, we don't have the water for it. And how can we build this thing? It's like, okay, this thing was actually approved more than 20 years ago. And essentially, this company that's doing it now, they're making small modifications they've actually reduced some of the lot sizes on it. The number of lots that are available. I think it was like 400 lots available originally. I think it's down to like 300 or so. These are estate style homes. These are bigger than Comanche Trace probably. And if you're going to move into this place, you're going to pay for your utilities. You're going to pay for the water, sewer, the roads. That's part of the public improvement district in there. The city's not paying for any of that stuff. But the water has been accounted for 20 years, right? When you look at the city, like, they've figured this project got approved. So because it got approved, we are now counting what that would be in our water study. So technically, Kerrville, the way they account for it, says we have the water available to serve this, but we don't have the water for the golf course. And that's a clear no-brainer. And the company knows that. So they're going to add to the reclaimed water situation here. They're going to help fund part of that, it sounds like. So we'll see how that goes. That was a big deal. The other big deal was that they agreed to. I'm a little fuzzy on this math piece of it because I'm got two different things that I've got to. What I'm believe is that half of 1% of the total sales tax of Kerrville will go to a rebate program for the redevelopment of the River Hills Mall. And this is going to allow Academy Sports to come in. But it's only the money that only the sales tax that Academy Sports brings in will go to this rebate for the River Hills Mall for their renovations. And it's capped at $125,000 a year, and then ultimately capped at $500,000 for the course of it. So they're getting a rebate to help them with this overhaul, and that's a pretty big rebate. But there is a belief that this is a positive for Kerrville because it's a sales tax win for the community, and this will be, and so they're not really giving them any money. They're just they're rebating the money that the future earnings, I guess, the future sales tax earnings. So that got approved last night unanimously. There were some speakers there that are upset about this because it was like, well, this wasn't we didn't get this kind of deal. Like, we maybe didn't ask for it. Maybe should ask for it. But the River Hills Mall has been one of those issues where, what do you do with it? Mm-hmm. And if you can imagine for a second here, this thing is going to go in where, like, they're going to basically tear out half the mall. So it's going to go kind of next to Belk in the mall piece of it. So there'll be like Belk and then Academy Sports next to each other. So that'll be interesting to watch over the coming months and year to see how that works out too. And then they also approved this eminent domain action that the city and the county were involved with for the possible expansion of the Kerr County Airport, which they wanted 50 acres next to this Dark Skies development. They said no, and so they went to eminent domain, and they got a mediated settlement. Nobody was happy with the mediation. It was very favorable to the developers, but They're going to pay the money, and they're going to now be able to expand the runway at the Kerr County Airport. So maybe we can land Air Force One there. See? The jumbo jet can
I have
land
no
there.
response to that.
No response to that. All right. And then...
It's not one I'm going to share.
All right. And then finally... Oh, today it's going to be hot. That's not the first.
Great.
It is indeed.
It already is hot.
Yeah.
Yep. I took a picture of my 103 on my car and sent it to my kids. I mean, it's not even, is it 10 degrees cooler in Lubbock than it
That's crazy. It's supposed to be 105 today. Yesterday was 99.7 apparently.
It was 103 in my car, so
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, the National Weather Service said, first they said 100 degrees, and then they walked it back to 99.7. Still a record for May 13th.
Yeah.
Today's supposed to be 105. The
At
record...
what time?
4:30.
Say 4:35 o'clock's usually the heat of the day.
Yeah, so I would say 100 degrees was what it was. They may change it back, but when I looked at the readings last night, it was 99.7. So, but it was still a record. The previous record was 97, set back in 2000. Today it could be 105, and they're saying parts of the Rio Grande Valley could have 115.
Yep, hottest place on earth.
Hottest
right now.
place on earth.
Literally
right now.
hotter than the Sahara Desert.
Gross.
Fun.
Absolutely gross.
Love it.
What's the hottest you've ever been in? What hottest temperature you've ever experienced?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Probably like about 110 or so.
110? What do you say? What, say 116.
I think in Vegas was this hottest, and it was like 110.
Yeah.
But they always say it's a dry heat.
Yeah,
It does feel different.
No,
I promise.
It hurts.
It's still hot,
still
but
hot.
it feels different.
It still hurts.
But then I've lived in in Texas that the wet heat.
The wet heat
it's horrible.
It's tough. I've been I really haven't experienced the true Gulf Coast heat, and I don't find this. I mean, it's humid here, but it's not.
Actually, yesterday it was
yesterday
hot,
was nice,
but it wasn't like horrifying.
No,
it would be horrifying if it was like this for the next month.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it will be in August.
Right. It'll be gross.
I get seasonal depression
because of the heat
on this side of things.
Oh.
Give me winter, give me gray, give me rain, but do not give me this 105 garbage.
Yeah.
Nope.
Rather it
I
be
get
105.
Oh God, no.
I get it though. When it's hot, like you want to be inside.
You can't move. You can only take off so many clothes, without getting arrested
Yeah.
or whatever. I mean, it's miserable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
And air conditioners can't keep things cool enough. You cannot get cool enough.
Yeah.
Whereas in the winter, you can get warm enough.
You can put clothes on.
You can put clothes on. You
yeah.
can sit in front of a fire.
I will complain about the heat, but I don't mind it. The cold really bugs me anymore.
Cold bugs me too.
Yeah.
Bring on
Makes
the
me
cold.
not want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Anything.
The cold just hurts sometimes.
Yeah.
Bring on the cold.
What's the coldest you've ever been in?
Coldest?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, probably here when it was like 7.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Libby Horton?
Oh God. Maybe when I was in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I don't remember how cold it got.
I was in Arizona one time. It was minus 16. That was air temperature.
Minus 16.
It was
In Arizona?
yeah in
think it
northern
was minus-
up in Flagstaff. It was minus 16. It was gross.
Wow.
The dog. I had a dog at the time, and he was like, "Nope, not going out in that. Absolutely
Yeah.
not."
No, I don't really, I can't comprehend negative temperatures.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts in places you don't want it to hurt. All right, the other story of the day yesterday too was Jeremiah and Missy Romack, the majors at the Salvation Army's Kroc Center. They are leaving. Leaving in June. And they're going to be replaced by Philip and Rebecca Squires of Atlanta.
Are they leaving Kerrville? Or
Yes, they're leaving Kerrville. The majors they got a promotion. They've been here for 4 years. They're moving to San Antonio.
Nice.
They're going to be the leaders in San Antonio, which is I'm not surprised by that because they're really solid people. So that's too. I don't know who's going to supervise Ashley Phillips now, but there you go.
She can supervise herself.
Yeah. But this Seth Vandable thing was cool though. I enjoyed that conversation as well.
Yeah,
Libby,
that sounds neat.
The Golden Girls was fantastic, by the way. I just want to tell you that.
Thank you.
I think I told you that.
I didn't have anything to do with them performing well, but
But the venue
I laid the Marley floor.
The venue did great
that.
though.
Thanks.
The venue was really. We saw a lot of diversity in the venue, so that was cool.
Yeah, it was cool to see that that we could do that, and that it was possible.
Yeah.
It's a lot of logistics. People
Yeah.
don't think about it.
A lot of logistics. All right, Amy Goodyear's
We do.
here. Amy's Goodyear's here from here's the other thing she's from: Playhouse 2000, Calla Theater, MVK Garage Theater,
All three.
and what else are you from?
Actually. You can all book it, if you will, under the Callow Performing Arts Center.
All right. There you go.
So there are two, I'm not even going to get into that. There are 2 theaters at the Callow Performing Arts Center, the Callow Theater and the VK Garage Theater. That's probably all you really need to know.
Yeah, right.
I know that Playhouse 2000 tends to sometimes confuse people, but that's the company that manages those facilities.
Yes.
So that's all you need to know. But if you go on our website, you can just find the tickets you want to see at the. We're with the Callow, you bet. Yeah. The Callow Performing Arts Center.
I love it.
So
what do you have going on? What's going on? What's the latest?
Well, the Callow's still under construction. You don't drive by and see us. It's exciting what's going on. It's strange things that make strange noises during the day. We're like, what equipment is that? It sounds like a meowing cat. I mean, it's crazy what's going on, taking things off the roof with cranes and all that. But stuff is happening. Everything's, as far as we know, on time and under budget, which is exciting. We're really, really pleased with that. We've gotten some, of course, the wonderful support from the city and the EIC, but we've also gotten some support from some local foundations, which is also exciting.
Nice.
To do some stuff inside that that is not part of the city's coverage. We're going to be renovating the bathrooms. We're going to be doing some repainting. So it'll be, when you come inside, when we open, it's going to feel like a new experience, like a new place. Not totally like a new place, but there's going to definitely be some updates and some things that you will notice. So we're very, very grateful for the community for that support and excited.
There won't be extra urinals. That was too expensive.
I don't think we can add. Yeah, adding stuff requires plumbing changes and all that, and that was more than we as Playhouse 2000, since we're the ones doing it, are able to afford. But you are going to notice some differences. Yeah.
Right.
New sinks, new countertops, new lighting and mirrors and things like that.
I always thought it was very nice though. The water was always nice and warm and
yeah, well, water's not changing, but I think it'll I know if you spend any time in the Callow, you probably, especially in the ladies' restroom, notice the way the countertops were designed with the sinks.
It was just messy, right?
Water would really gather and soap and stuff like that, and it was just not the best design. So we're kind of revamping that. The sinks are going to be much better designed. They'll be undermounted and all that good stuff, and have places to throw your paper towels right next to the sinks. You don't have to walk over it. It's just being really well designed and thought out. So I think people are going to appreciate that. So
the theater it's ahead of schedule. So you guys might get in there sooner rather than later.
We hope so. I mean, there's always unexpected delays and things can come, especially when you're expecting large equipment and steel and that kind of stuff. So they're telling us we should be in good shape. So we haven't changed any of the dates of our opening performances. We've still got Into the Woods scheduled, which is of course our first thing. They'll be back in the Callow, our production of Stephen Sondheim's Into the Woods in mid-August. So we're still on track for that, but stay tuned. It may have to be tweaked a little bit. You never know, but that's why we're staying flexible.
I didn't say for a lot of it, but the Robin Hood thing was delightful.
Wasn't it delightful?
Yeah.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
Speaking of our kids.
Yes. All right. That's why you're here.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. Speaking of the kids, I'm really proud of our youth theater program. Emily and Meg and Lena did an incredible job with those kids. They the show was not only good youth theater, it was just fun theater in general. Yeah. It was funny and clever and entertaining and really technically beautiful costuming and all that stuff and the lights and everything that they did with it. I was really, really proud of them. Of course, all of that costs money, and we do have a tuition fee for our kids that are involved in our youth theater program. But we never want that to be an issue for a kid to be involved. Right. Not even for a second. About 60% of our kids are either on partial or full scholarship for every one of our shows. So that's a goal for us, a really important priority. And so because of that, we are sort of constantly in need of fundraising for our youth scholarship fund. This is, if you've ever done theater or seen kids theater, all the amazing skills and just important ways of living that kids learn. They learn how to, work in groups, and they learn how to be empathetic. Meet your spouse. And you might meet your spouse, which happened to me. Yeah. But yes, so it's really kind of an irreplaceable activity for
Right.
young people. So we never want money to get in the way. So we have an event coming up this Saturday called Cocktails and Karaoke in the VK Garage Lobby, which if you haven't been to the VK in a while, the VK Garage Lobby has recently been completely renovated. It's really lovely.
Nice.
In there. You have the just a really nice setup, a bar, and we have Omakase Hospitality, who are our partners in concessions, are going to be there, and they're going to be creating their signature cocktails for the night, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. And then, if you karaoke in a theater, it's going to sound pretty good.
Yeah.
So we've got, our theatrical sound set up to do karaoke, and you can sing whatever you want. People are asking, do I have to sing like Broadway songs? If you want to, yeah, but no, you don't have to.
Now,
Come
see, if I
sing
could
whatever you
sing,
want.
I would sing show tunes.
Yeah, I get that. And I would guess probably a lot of people will, but you can come and sing whatever you want. It's a $30 cover charge, and then everything's, free for the night. We'll have snacks and drinks and all kinds of good stuff like that.
Oh, so the bar's included with
Yes,
the cover charge.
you bet.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. And then we are actually going to have a small silent auction. We've had a few local artists donate some pieces to us, as well as a couple other fun things. We've got an axe throwing event down in San Antonio, and an escape room, and a couple of pieces of jewelry. So it's a really kind of fun little silent auction. So people can come and bid on that, and everything 100% goes towards the youth theater.
What would you sing if you could sing a show tune, a Broadway show tune? What would you sing? I would sing Camelot.
Which song from Camelot?
I would sing the
theme. Yeah.
It's true. The crown has made it clear. The climate must be perfect all the year.
Lewis, I will expect you Saturday night. And you will. I am hosting the karaoke, so I will get you
Camelot.
I actually have sung some Broadway when I've done karaoke. My complication is that I'm a contralto tenor, so I'm usually
not a
having
singer
to
at all. People beg me not to sing.
I'll do "You'll Be Back," the King song from Hamilton.
Oh yeah,
sung that.
that is so delightful too.
Yes, I can somewhat painfully go do Elphaba. There's a few notes I can't quite hit in some of her songs, but
Have you seen Hamilton?
The new one?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
the new
You've seen Hamilton, haven't you?
Yeah, I've seen Hamilton.
Okay.
It's good. I like it.
But yeah,
what's
there's
amazing is my child she can sing a lot of, she's like really good at remembering lyrics.
That doesn't
Like she
surprise me.
can rap along with, those songs.
I can do the entire score. So yeah.
Oh, can you?
That really does not surprise me that
I-
Hudson can do that.
I know it's crazy. Like, because like the Schuyler sisters,
Yeah.
the older sister, when she
so.
sings and raps, that's an incredible piece of music.
I would never do it in public in front of anyone, but
Yeah.
some people are really good. And hey, if you want to hear entertaining karaoke, do it with a bunch of theater people,
Oh yeah.
because you're actually going to have some voices.
Oh, they're gonna kill it.
Oh yeah, no,
You're
it's
not
not going
gonna
to
wanna
be.
go up there after
It's
No.
no, but everyone is welcomed. I don't care if you can sing, as long as you have fun singing. That's what the point is.
Yeah.
That's true.
What would you sing, Living on the Label?
I feel like my go-to song is usually, 500 miles.
That's
my husband's, signature song.
100 miles.
See you.
He does it with the accent, even.
Oh,
Marcus
nice.
does. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of his
Oh,
signature
it's great.
song.
It gets the crowd going.
Everybody will sing along with you too, which is
Yeah,
fun.
it makes me feel good.
Yep.
That's a safe.
I was at Trailhead a few weeks ago, and they had this delightful little duo there. They were singing old-timey kind of Tin Pan Alley stuff. Stuff you would find on Willie Nelson Stardust album, and they were playing it. It was so good though, and I recognized a lot of the songs, and they were shocked. I go, well, I grew up kind of listening to that. My dad loved Stardust, the album, like that, when my parents had an 8-track tape, there was like that and Linda Ronstadt and the Grease soundtrack. That's all we listened to.
Well, my dad was a wedding singer, so
Oh, was he?
yeah,
Really?
all of that.
What?
All of that. Yeah, my dad was a wedding singer.
I did not know that.
Not professionally. He did occasionally get paid, but a lot of times he would do it just for people he knew and people that found out about people he knew.
That's like me with wedding photography. Like no.
But my dad sounded like Frank Sinatra.
Like if Libby said to me, "Would you take pictures of of my wedding?" I would do it for Libby for free, just so you know. I would do it for free because I figure that I feel like you're one of my kids. So
Aww.
Yeah.
I appreciate.
But anybody
that.
else though?
Yeah,
so
well,
much work.
It is a lot of work.
We're looking into that right now, of course, and they aren't cheap, but they are.
No.
To me, I was telling CJ, I said that the only thing you have left, I mean, obviously, other than your marriage, at the end of your wedding are your pictures. Everything else is gone. Everything else goes away.
Yeah.
The only thing you get to keep in that way and enjoy over the years are your pictures. So your photographer is very important.
Yeah.
And so she's kind of been doing investigating. My daughter's getting married next summer.
Yeah.
So she's doing some investigating right now. So it's fun.
I got some great pictures and videos of weddings where people are no longer married, and pictures where people are still married. So it's good to know. So,
Videography is really hot right now too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a hard decision because you could find somebody who's a mixture of both, but sometimes more often than not, it's separate.
I had a video camera years ago. Well, I've always had video cameras, but I was doing video and I was at a friend's wedding. This is terrible, but this guy was marrying this girl, and no one really liked her, And so the deal was that she was going to ride. They were going to ride off. She was going to ride off on a horse, right? And she was just kind of a weird pill and everything like that. And God bless her. I mean, I'm sure she's reformed herself now, but her husband, who weighed about $125, couldn't control the horse. And he's a good friend of mine, and his dad, who just recently passed away, felt the same way about the situation that we did. And so they're walking away with the horse, and the horse gets spooked, and it kind of kicks her off.
Oh no.
And I'm shooting video of it, and I don't even realize it, but I'm laughing like.
Yeah.
And my brothers because my brothers are jerks, right? And they were like, "Oh, well, come show this. What happened? Show us that video of Jen falling off the horse." And I was out of the poor girl, but it's all right. Anyway, and.
It's fun.
I didn't realize I was laughing, and my brother Christopher was like, "Oh my God, you're laughing on this thing! Ha ha! Rewind it again." So yeah, there we go.
There you go. Anyway, yes. So
Unfortunate story.
That is unfortunate. Anyway, rewind. Yes. So we would love to see you Saturday night, where we do have tickets for pre-sale on the website, callowperformingarts.com, but we are more than happy to welcome people at the door as well. So if you don't get your tickets ahead of time, please don't hesitate to come anyway. Starts at 8:00, but you can kind of a come and go sort of thing. And we'll be wrapping it up at midnight. So
Love it.
Yeah, it's going to be I promise you it will be a lot of fun. We're a lot of fun to hang out with. So come and support the youth theater and have a great time.
That's great.
Sounds
great. That's a great thing to do for
8
sure.
to 12.
8 to 12. What's the cost again?
Saturday night, $30 cover charge. And then if you want to bid on stuff in the silent auction, that's a separate thing, but that'll cover your drinks, your snacks, you can as much karaoke as you can sing.
Wow.
Of course, we'll be accepting additional donations all night long. So if you are so moved to support our kiddos, we've got about 25 kids that have just been cast in the K-Pub Summer Youth Musical, which is Finding Nemo Jr.
Oh my God.
And I can tell you a majority of those kids are going to need some kind of scholarship funding.
Yeah.
So if you can help with that, we would love to have you as part of the family.
Yes, that'd be great. All right, what did you learn today, Libby on the label?
Finding Nemo Jr.
So good, right?
That's actually really exciting.
It's going to be so cute. I can't
adorable.
even describe it.
I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna hate it. It's so cute.
No, you're not. You're not going to hate it. You're gonna love it. You're
some
gonna love it.
things like you are just like so kiddish and like so corny, but like you love it, but you hate it at the same time. Like it makes you feel cringe, but you're like, these kids are just so adorable.
It's actually, I've heard some of the music. It's actually pretty clever. I mean, it's actually not, it's Finding Nemo, which is a great story. And everybody loves the movie.
Everyone loves that movie.
And then the songs are actually pretty cute. So, and I can guarantee you, our kids, if you saw Shrek last year,
Yes.
our kids do a pretty impressive
They do.
production.
Yes, they
are
they do so well.
They are in the VK Garage Theater, so it's not on the big stage. So it's not going to be, quite as big as we had last year. But it's still going to be impressive.
I tell you what looks delightful, by the way. The new Lilo and Stitch movie. Have you seen that? You see Lilo and Stitch?
That don't look nice at all.
It looks delightful.
I'm just
scary.
tired of live action remakes
so am I,
of Disney animated movies.
I love Stitch in all situations, though. So
CJ was very fond of Lilo and Stitch.
Stitch is it is a fun one for me because of my kid.
But I think it was more not one that I'm particularly. I mean, it's cute.
Yeah.
I
like Stitch. I like them a lot. I like monsters.
It's kind of creepy in the live action.
Come on now.
If it's not live action, it's still animated.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's just not live action. It's a different kind of animation.
Let's go watch it together.
No.
All right.
It's just a different kind of animation.
All right.
It's
What did you learn
real.
today?
What did I learn today?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention.
Actually, no. I learned. I think that this Guardian thing at the new safety center sounds really cool.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, I think I love incorporating public art into something like that. So I love that.
What are you listening? I'm listening to it.
To Camelot. So you are.
Yeah.
I will expect you Saturday night, Lewis. I'll have it in the queue. I'll expect you to come sing this.
Download it. Ready to
I have to
go.
go to the charity ball. I have to crash the charity ball.
Friday?
Saturday.
Oh yeah, Saturday.
Friday. Is it Friday? Is it Saturday? Friday.
It's Saturday.
Saturday the
This
charity
is
ball.
Saturday.
Your event's Saturday?
Saturday, right?
Yes.
The charity ball is a Saturday?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's okay though. But you know what? People don't want to go. People would rather go to your event.
To charity ball.
You should go to this then.
I haven't attended in a couple years. Not doesn't they do great work. I was on the charity ball committee 2 years. But yes, no.
I can do both. You can do both.
Of course you can do both.
Absolutely.
You can go have dinner, hang out, and then because charity ball usually wraps up like 9 o'clock or so.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, and then there's like the people that stay later. But yeah,
I just go.
hang out with us.
I go get pictures, then
Yeah.
I leave. So there you go.
Come hang out with us.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. Tomorrow on the show, Barbara Oates will be here, and Angela Kennedy will be here. We're talking about the new exhibit over at the Kerr Arts and Cultural Center, the Wartime Letters exhibit, and maybe I'll just show up and start singing Camelot for all of you people. That'd be great.
I'm expecting you.
That would be great.
Also, I don't know if Leslie will be here tomorrow. She's quite ill.
She's ill?
Yeah, we gotta raise some awareness. Leslie might be ill, so let's make sure that she's okay. Everyone,
I'm sure.
Hold her up.
Hold her up.
Yes, Tawny Fontaine Jenner, keep her in your thoughts and prayers. Okay, so there you go. All right, thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye.